Hi everyone. So today we will see a demonstration for creating a Timelock recovery for our Bitcoin using Specter DIY hardware wallet, using Specter Desktop wallet, which work with the hardware wallet, and then we will upload the Timelock recovery for monitoring in the RITREK app. Now, what I like about Specter Desktop Wallet is that it's a web wallet. So you actually don't have to install the app on the same computer that you want to create the Bitcoin transactions. You can install it on a different computer and simply browse to it. So here you can see the URL. I'm using some tunneling method to browse into my node, and for example on Umbrel node it's really easy to install the Specter app, and then you have the Specter wallet automatically connected to your own Bitcoin node and not to some remote server. So for the record, I do have a real Specter DIY wallet here. And what I really like about Specter, unlike Trezor or Seed Signer, is that it has a big screen, and that's important when you are signing complicated transactions, and that's more important for less technical Bitcoiners to notice that what they are seeing on the hardware wallet is more important than what they are seeing on their computer screen or their phone screen. That this is what matters, and it also makes the UI simpler for the developers of the wallet. Trezor, Seed Signer, they really have to compress a lot of details inside a tiny screen, and sometimes, as we will see later, they simply give up on some details and don't show things like relative time locks, for example, that transactions may have. Now, some people would say, okay, but I can take this and hide it. It's really tiny, and unlike this big bulk of device, it is harder to hide it in my home. But what Specter did is that they created these memory cards that you can put here behind, and you actually can save the seed on this memory card. If you don't use the Bitcoin often, you can just wipe the device and wipe the card and just keep a physical copy of the seed. But if you do use the Bitcoin quite often, then this is a great solution, because you can hide this in many places. It's quite small, and the physical device, you can hide it in a place where you will notice if it's get stolen or replaced, but it's not like some people who have stolen it or replaced it could access the Bitcoin. They can try to trick you into using a pawned device, but if you just protect this, they will not find the seed of your Bitcoin wallet. Obviously, there is also internal storage, and there is a mechanism to keep the seeds partially on the card and partially on the internal storage. There are many other complicated use cases that you can use Specter DIY for. And of course, you can also save the seed on a small memory card. So you can save it on this SD card and load it from here, and that's something really easy to hide from thieves. And before we delve into the details of how to create the Timelock recovery plan, I want to recall what Timelock recovery plans are and why we need them. So as a responsible Bitcoiner who wants to be in self-custody, you probably purchased a hardware wallet, and now you have a backup of a seed that you need to protect. You realize that putting it only in one geographical location is quite dangerous. It can be, I'm not even talking about stealing it, it can be just destroyed by some natural disaster, by some accident that someone will throw it away, not even knowing what it means. So you make multiple copies of your seed and you put it in multiple places maybe, but then you realize that if you keep multiple backups, there are higher chances that one of the backups will be stolen. And then you start thinking about more complicated solutions. For example, if you have a 24-word seed, you might think about cutting it into two pieces of 12 words each and putting it in different locations. Or maybe you will want to add a passphrase and maybe you want to memorize the passphrase so only you know it. And although humans are not very good in thinking about random passphrase, if somebody steals one of the copies of your seed, it will take some time for them to try to guess your passphrase. Maybe you even wait into multi-sig solutions. You have 2 out of 3 backups of different seeds, and you need only 2 to recover out of the 3 to recover the funds. Or maybe with the new SSS Shamir technique, where multiple seeds are brought together to create a new seed and recover the funds from it with a 2 out of 5 mechanism. All these methods are complicated, and if you are worried that your seed might be stolen, you should be much more worried that due to overcomplication, you'll simply lose access to your own Bitcoin. You will forget the passphrase, you will forget where you kept the copies, where you kept the descriptors of the copies. Maybe something happens to you, and then your family members who might be less technical than you will have hard time recovering it, and they will look for help online how to recover it, and maybe some experts will come and help them recover the Bitcoin and actually steal some of it or all of it. So complicated solutions are dangerous for that reason. So what a timelock recovery is a way to sign in advance transactions that will eventually move the Bitcoin to a second wallet. So you can have your own complicated wallet, a multi-sig, a passphrase, something that you maybe even you memorized your 12 words and not even write it down. But if you do so, you can have another second wallet, a simple wallet. It can be a simple 12 words wallet that you just have multiple copies of, not online, but multiple physical copies of that you and your family know where they are. And you now can create signed transactions that will move the Bitcoin from your wallet to the simple wallet after some time lock. So what you're going to do is, in a timelock recovery plan, you're going to sign 2 transactions. So suppose these are your UTXOs. You have 30 million sats, and you sign 2 transactions. The first transaction sends only 600 sats to the recovery wallet. Why? The main reason is that you will be able to do child pay for parent in case this transaction is stuck. This is a complicated mechanism. Right now it's not such a big issue to accelerate transactions. There are many accelerators that you can just go online and pay directly to the miners to accelerate specific transactions. Even mempool.space have one. But it's also good because if you are watching the second recovery wallet, then you can notice that this 600 sats suddenly arrived from nowhere, and you might start suspecting that maybe something has been leaked in your backup and the first transaction has been broadcast. After the first transaction, almost all of your funds are still on your own wallet, simply on a new address in your own wallet. And the second transaction sends the rest of the funds to the recovery wallet, and it has a special time lock, relative time lock to the first transaction, and it can be mined only X days, typically 90 days, but you can set it to anything between 2 days to up to 388 days. That's the top limit. Now, what you need to remember about signed transactions, that you can keep them, in my opinion, online, because what can happen if they get leaked? The hacker cannot change the destinations of the funds, and he cannot change the time lock. So worst thing that he can do is broadcast the transaction, and if he doesn't have access to the secondary wallet, he won't get any of the funds. Now, suppose the hacker did get access to the recovery wallet. Maybe it's a family relative that you don't trust so well and is trying to steal your funds, and somehow he started initiated transactions. So what would happen is that the hacker will broadcast the first transaction, and if you kept a copy of these pre-signed transactions on the RITREK app, you will get a push notification to your phone, and then you have 90 days to respond. You can access your complicated wallet. Maybe it's a multi-sig in different geographic locations, so you go to each one of the geographic locations and you simply move the Bitcoin to a new address. It can even be a new address on your own wallet. You don't even need to move it to a different wallet. And the hackers got nothing, even if they got access to the second wallet. They will only have access to 600 sats. So here we are, back in our Specter Desktop wallet. On the right we can see the emulator. Obviously, in the real scenario, we will use a real physical hardware wallet. An emulator is just as good as any hot wallet connected to the internet. We have here two wallets loaded, one without a passphrase, as we can see here, and one with a passphrase. And we will create a Timelock recovery from the wallet with the passphrase to the wallet without the passphrase. The wallet without the passphrase, as we can see, it's empty. Let's verify that we see the same wallet on both the Specter Desktop and the emulator. So here we can see our addresses, and here I can go to wallets, default, and I see that address number 0 is BC1Q470. We can verify it entirely. Here we can see MCP in the end. And I can copy it to the clipboard. I will also write it down, so later when I switch a wallet, I could double check that I am preparing a Timelock recovery to an address that I control. So let's write it down. BC1Q47
F.
Okay, I wrote it down, and later I will be able to double check that I'm creating a Timelock recovery plan to the address that I want, even if some virus on my computer replaced it where I did some copy paste. So now I'll switch to the wallet with the passphrase, and we can see that it has 100,000 sats. Let's verify that we are seeing the same wallet. So I'll go here to addresses, and here I will close this and go back to settings, and now I will switch to a passphrase based wallet. I will enter the passphrase. My passphrase was maltbot67. This is an example that I'm using for why passphrases are so hard to remember in the long term. So Maltbot was a project that open source project doing AI locally, and it recently changed its name from Maltbot to OpenClaw. And 67, there is a trend here all around the world that young kids started saying 6767 for no reason. And that's just an example that things that are based on trend or on some kinds of project names can alter within 20 years, and you will simply not remember what the original passphrase was. So I've clicked here done. I'll go back, I'll go to wallets, default, and now I go back to address number 0, and it is BC1 QCX R6. Let's see here, R6, yes. So we are looking here on the same wallet. Now let's go to the Timelock recovery. So you will typically need to click add plugin if you didn't add it already. Timelock recovery. Here is some descriptions of basically what we are about to do. Let's start, and we are going to do a Timelock recovery to the emulator wallet with the passphrase. Let's click next, and let's paste here the destination wallet. We will give it a label, wallet without a passphrase. Now we need to go to the fee selection. Right now the fees on the network are very low, but you don't know what the fees will be in 10 years from now. So if you don't want to make it complicated to accelerate the transaction, in a real scenario I would just pick a very high fee. So if the fees on the network today are like 2-3 sats per virtual byte, you don't know what they will be in 10 years, so I would give something like 50 sats per virtual byte. Right now I don't want to waste my sats, so I'll put, let's see here, put fee of 2 sats per virtual byte. Here we can choose the time lock, the gap between the transactions, and I will choose, typically you can choose 90 days. For this demo I'll only choose 2 days. Let's go and click next here. And here we can see the alert transaction, the first transaction. The first transactions only sends 600 sats to the second wallet, and it sends most of the funds to an address on the same wallet. So we can use the emulator device to sign the transaction. So here I will click sign in with QR codes. This sometimes gets a lot of content, especially if you have many UTXOs. So if you click here, you will switch to an animation mode. It's just breaking the content of the QR code on multiple QR codes. And here we will want to scan it. So we'll go here back and go to scan QR code. Now in a real scenario I would pick the physical device and put it in front of the sequence of QR codes. Right now it's an emulator, so you can do it, but I've prepared in advance a script that will do it for me. And it's scanning the QR codes. Voila. Now we want to sign it on the wallet. So let's see what we are seeing here. We are seeing here that we have inputs of 100,000 sats, and we are going to send only 600 sats to the recovery wallet, to the wallet without the passphrase. So now it's important to verify, to double check and verify the address here, Q47087C7F. Yes, it's the same one. So now we know that we are sending in this transaction 600 sats to the second wallet. And if we click here, we can see, and this is something that I really like, and it's pretty new on Specter DOI, you can see all the details of your transactions. So small hardware wallets, Trezor, Ledger, they won't show you the exact inputs that you are signing. And they won't always show you the lock time. And here we can see that this transaction has two outputs. One of 600 sats to the second wallet, and one output that goes back to our own address, and we can verify this address. So it goes back to the wallet with the passphrase. These funds will remain protected by the passphrase until we send the second, we broadcast the second transaction. Now let's confirm, and we can see here the sequence of QR codes of the signed transaction, and here we will click scan to scan the QR codes. Now typically I would put now the hardware device on top of the computer's camera. Right now I can do it, so my trick is I could have put a mirror or something and it would work, but I will simply record a video of the QR codes. Okay, I think that's enough. And now I play it back to the camera. Okay, took some time, but it worked. And the alert transaction is signed. The first transactions in the pair of transactions. Now let's click next, and now we'll have to sign the recovery transaction. Again, we will show it in QR codes. And here on the emulator, I have to sign another transaction, so I will start scanning. I will execute my script. Okay, and now we can see that the second transaction is sending the rest of the funds to the recovery address on the second wallet, on the wallet without the passphrase. Let's verify again the address, BC1Q47087C7F. Okay, now we can see here, and this is something new on the Specter DIY wallet, we can see all the details, including the relative time lock. So if I click here, I can see the inputs, and I can see that this input has a relative time lock of 2 days, 4 minutes, and 16 seconds. This is exactly what we decided to set. Other wallets won't show you that, so theoretically you could be signing two transactions with the wrong time lock between them. I don't see exactly what the hacker would benefit from it, because still Bitcoin moves from the wallet with the passphrase to the wallet without the passphrase. It's not like any of these wallets are in the control of the hacker, but why not? If we can verify all the details, let's verify all the details. That's what hardware wallets are for. Let's confirm. We can click here to convert it to a sequence of QR codes and click here on the scan. And now, instead of putting the physical device on the camera of the computer, I will record another video. And then play it back. Great. And the second transaction is ready, and we click next. And optionally, we can sign a cancellation transaction. I will skip this step. This step, if you have a wallet, supposedly a multi-sig wallet, and you have hidden each key in a different geolocation, and now your signed transactions that you can keep online for backup have leaked. So now in order to cancel the process, you have to go to each of the geographic locations and move the Bitcoin to a new address. This allows you to create such cancellation transaction in advance. So if the first alert transaction had been broadcast, this transaction, if signed, will immediately move the Bitcoin to a new address, to the multi-sig wallet, to the original wallet. It's important to remember that this transaction is a little bit dangerous, because if you lost access to the original multi-sig or passphrase-based wallet, and the alert transaction was broadcast, and then the cancellation transaction was broadcast, then the Bitcoin goes back to the passphrase multi-sig complicated wallet, and that's it. You have canceled your recovery mechanism. So if you have a passphrase-based wallet, I don't see any reason to use it. If you have a multi-sig wallet in multiple geographical locations, maybe that will be useful. So I will skip the cancellation transaction. So we can see we've created 2 PDF files and downloaded them to our downloads folder. Firefox opens it in a new tab also after downloading. And this is the first guide. This is a manual guide that you can give to your inheritors or keep it for yourself. How to initiate the Timelock recovery transactions. It has all the details. You can pause the video here. You can learn more about it on timelockrecovery.com. And it's a pretty easy mechanism. You go to one of these websites. You scan the alert transaction QR code, and then on these websites, let's go for example to TX Push, you can paste here and broadcast the transaction. And you can follow the transaction by the transaction ID to see that it has been mined. Now, 2 days after, and it's approximately 2 days because of all kinds of variations in the timestamps that miners can put on blocks. I don't want to get into the details. Approximately 2 days after, you will be able to scan the second transaction, the recovery transaction. And again, on this website, broadcast it, and your Bitcoin will arrive to the wallet without the passphrase. The cancellation guide is, in this case, we didn't sign a cancellation transaction, but you can still monitor the first alert transaction, and if it was broadcast, you can just open the wallet and move the Bitcoin to a new address on your own wallet or to a new wallet completely. What do I mean by monitoring? So if you did a 90 days Timelock, you can periodically test it once a month and see if any of the Bitcoin was moved from the original wallet or if the transaction has been leaked. And if you have a 90 days window and you find that it has happened after a month, you still have 60 days to cancel the process, again by going to the original wallet and moving the Bitcoin to a new address. In addition, Specter, in the latest version, has a BIP128 JSON. And if I'll go to the downloads folder, I will see that I have already downloaded both the recovery PDF, the cancellation PDF, and the JSON file that follows the BIP128 JSON that basically contains the signed transactions. And you can use this JSON on the RITREK Android app to monitor if these transactions has been broadcast and to broadcast them and to share it with your friends and family so they will be able to broadcast them from their phone, etc. If you don't want to upload the transactions manually on one of these websites, you can go to ritrek.com/send. Just a second, I will stop this QR code sequence, it's annoying. And you can upload the JSON file here. So you can back up your JSON file online. Again, if it's leaked, then hackers can get the funds, just can try to initiate the recovery plan. And let's drag it here. And we can see all the details of the signed transactions, the transaction IDs, the fees, the version, the name that we gave it, the wallet name that it was created for, etc. And we can obviously initiate. Before initiating it, I want to upload the file to the RITREK app and show you what you see inside the Android app. So here we can see the RITREK app with all the recovery plan that I already had beforehand. And now I have a new one for this demo. And suppose I've uploaded the PDF files and the JSON file to my Google Drive. And I've shared it with friends and family just in case. If I forget my passphrase, I will always be able to broadcast the transactions. And after 2 days, in our case, the Bitcoin will move to the same wallet without a passphrase. So how do I upload the JSON file to the RITREK app for monitoring? It's very easy. I just click the plus button and then add JSON file. And here on my Google Drive, I will go to my Timelock Recovery Plans folder and I will select the JSON file. And the recovery plan was added successfully. And if I want to broadcast it, I can select it and initiate it whenever I want. I can download it again, the JSON, so it backs up. And the most important thing is that this app is doing the monitoring for us. So we don't have to periodically check the blockchain once a month to see if one of our family relatives started initiating the recovery plans for some reason. The app will send us the push notification if this happens. And let's see it happening. So suppose one of our family relatives decided to go to the RITREK.com send and website and upload the JSON file that you gave him only in case you forgot the passphrase. And he goes down and click the initiate recovery plan here. And the transaction has been initiated. There are several steps for the recovery plan to happen. first the first transaction has to be mined, then we have to wait for the time lock, then the second transaction has to be mined, and once the second transaction is confirmed with 6 blocks, the recovery plan has been fully executed. Now let's go back to the RITREK app and see what we see on the RITREK app once the first transaction has been mined. Here we can see that we received the push notification for the RITREK app, and if we'll open it, we will see that we have a new message, and the message says that the initiate transaction was broadcast externally because our family relative broadcast it directly from the RITREK app, and now we can decide what we want to do about it. If we won't do nothing, the recovery plan will continue, and after 2 days we'll broadcast the second transaction, and the Bitcoin will move from the wallet with the passphrase to the wallet without the passphrase. Or we can cancel the process simply by moving the Bitcoin to a new address on the wallet with the passphrase. So here we are back on our wallet. We can see that a small amount of sats have left our wallet, 600 sats plus the fees that we paid due to the recovery plan being initiated. And now we want to cancel the process. We don't want after 2 days that the Bitcoin will move to the recovery wallet. We want to keep it on the wallet with the passphrase. So all we have to do is to send some sats back to our wallet to a new address. Let's pick a new address to send to. I've already labeled this address. Let's copy it. And let's also verify it on the hardware wallet. So this was address number 8. So let's go to our wallet and let's go to address number 8. We can see that it's the same one, BC1 QPSXR5. Yes, it's the same one, and I will also write it down just in case, so I can double check when I'm creating the transaction. BC1
QPS XR5FYQ.
Let's copy the address, and now let's close here, go back and create a new transaction. Let's paste the address here, canceling the recovery plan, and the amount can be any amount. If you want to save some sats, you can do send max, and then you won't have any change address, but just you can type any tiny amount, let's say 600 sats. 600 sats. Let's create the transaction and let's sign it. Now I'm running my script in the background. Great, I can stop the script. And let's see what the transaction contains. We are going to send 600 sats to this address. Let me verify that it's the same one. Yes. Technically, I'm not sure why it shouldn't have shown us the address, because it's our own address. So some wallets will show it and some wallets won't show it unless you go to advanced details. And here we can see the outputs. So it detected that the change address is our own, but this address, if the wallet did not detect that it is our own, it depends on all kinds of descriptors that whether they are moved or not moved from the desktop wallet. Anyway, it's 600 sats, so even if we've made a mistake, then we lose only 600 sats in this transaction, plus the fees, of course. Let's confirm the transaction. Let's watch it as a sequence of QR code, and like before, I will record a video of this sequence of QR codes. And show it back to the camera. Codes. And let's send the transaction. Here we can see the transaction that is still unconfirmed. So here we can see that our transaction has been mined with a single confirmation. And if we go to the RITREK.com send page, we will see that the recovery plan has indeed been cancelled. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the demo. I hope you will try out the new Timelock Recovery plugin for the Specter Desktop wallet and the features on the Specter DIY wallet. If you have Bitcoin behind passphrases or multi-sig or any complicated solutions, know that so much Bitcoin has been locked forever by people who forgot their passphrases, forgot how to build their seed phrase from the clues that they left themselves or that a family relative left them. This is so sad to see people being locked out from the Bitcoin only because they wanted to actually save it away from all kinds of thieves and hackers. So if you did something like that, a wallet with a complicated passphrase or a multi-sig wallet, make sure you have pre-signed transactions that will send it to a simpler wallet, and hope you will use the RITREK app for monitoring those transaction backups.